And we are live.
Alright. Hello everybody, I'm Zojalyx. Welcome to the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. So, what I'm doing quickly is, first of all, I'm playing the game on GameCube. And the reason for that is because of this. What I'm doing right now is I'm going into an already completed file and then quitting out and saving, and that will allow me to skip every single movie cutscene in the entire game, which saves close to about 10 or so minutes, something like that. So Aragorn was the winner for the bid war, and once I get the go-ahead from Waka, we'll get started.
Yeah, I'm ready for the timer. Just count down when you're ready.
All right, so I'm actually going to hit start, and then I'm going to count down. So counting down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, we've got the prologue starting off, and that is an auto-scroller, basically right off the bat. But what we're going to be doing is we need to get about 2,500 EXP in the prologue. And technically right now we're playing as Isildur, but our EXP in the prologue does carry over from the prologue into the rest of the game. And for this first phase, because like these enemies don't necessarily give you too much EXP, I'm not going to actually kill any of them. And so for about the first 45 seconds, we're going to be sitting here parrying. And so for EXP, you'll see in the bottom left corner, there's like that little damage meter. If that fills up, I'll go into what's called perfect mode, and that's where I do the max amount of damage. And I also get the max amount of EXP. And what I do is I use this combo called Isildur's Judgment that will get me into perfect mode super fast, and I want to get about 15 perfects, I think is what I just recently counted it out to. And then, of course, any other kills that I get in that other point in time do help me get to that 2,500 goal. Now, I gotta really watch, because some of the AI here just doesn't necessarily like to cooperate. And if I get hit at certain points in my combo, it can actually mess it up, and I have to, normally you can just kind of mash your way through the combo, but sometimes the enemies just don't like to cooperate, and it can mess up your combo. So, and another thing too to note when it comes to perfect mode is majority of the time, perfect mode should one-shot the enemies. And so I'm gonna get like 5 more perfects in this third phase here, just for like specific safety. So there's 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Just kill just a few more enemies here. Okay. So I guess I can kind of go over like the different types of kills while we sit here and wait for about another 45 seconds. So the amount of damage that you do will determine how much EXP that you get. The lowest amount of damage but still get a kill, that's called a fair. And then the next one highest is a good, and then excellent, and then perfect. And one of the things that you're going to be seeing me do is use a bunch of the different combos throughout the run to be able to achieve perfects, which will help me get the maximum amount of EXP. This game works very similar to a lot of other RPG runs, where you kind of move from one required fight to another. And during those required fights, you optimize the EXP gain that you get, which not only does you, like, in using the combos that the game has, not only are you optimizing the amount of EXP, you're also optimizing the speed at which you're killing enemies. So as you can see, easily made it through the prologue with 2,500 EXP, and now we're getting into Weathertop, which is where we actually introduce Aragorn.
They seek the ring bearer. Stay close.
And this level, I kind of have to focus a little bit for it in order to, like, actually kind of explain what happens. So as always, I want to try and get into perfect mode, because when I get into perfect mode, I two-shot the ring race that we're fighting here. Like that. And another thing that you'll see me do is after I kill a ring wraith, I run over to the fire pit and I use my fierce attack on the fire pit. The reason for that is that will refill my torch, because if I let my torch like empty, then I don't do any damage whatsoever to any of the ring wraiths. And this guy is not doing what he normally does, but it worked out. So that was Weathertop, and as you can see, we already made it to level 2, and I just bought the wrong ability. I don't even know what ability I bought. I think I bought Rising Attack. Okay, yeah, so we just bought the wrong ability. We needed to buy Isildur's Swift Terror and Ranger Fury. But we didn't buy those. Rising Attack we're not supposed to get until the end of the next level, so I'm going to kind of try and wing some EXP routing here. I'm going to grab that EXP pickup, and all I will really need by the end of this level is 5,000 EXP, just so I can get Swift Terror. I don't necessarily need Ranger Fury for Balin's Tomb, which is the next level. But I can, it does come in handy. It is required for Amon Hen, Ranger Fury, which is the next level after Balin's Tomb. So this is Gates of Moria. Gates of Moria is divided into 2 sections, which is just the initial level, and then there's a boss fight where you fight the Watcher in the water, in which some of us in the community have renamed him to Little Fella, because some people find him kind of adorable. I don't really know why, but sometimes that's just how it works. And didn't get good RNG. Wait, what? Did that goblin just like... I'm not sure. Somebody in chat quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure a goblin just like spun out randomly. So we're here at the lake, and in the lake, if we go too deep into the water, we move super slow. So for a good chunk of the lake, we're actually going to be moving on the edge of it, and then we use our jump back for the couple of sections that we can't be on the edge. But we made it to the Little Fella fight. Some people call him the Kraken, but his technical name is the Watcher in the Water, because I'm that guy who is like super lore heavy. So this fight's fairly RNG intensive, and in order to just have a good fight, we have to sit and wait for these tentacles to come up, and then we block them, and then shoot the Watcher in the water, and I almost missed that one tentacle, but overall a good fight. And if I were to have gotten hit by any of the tentacles, but I didn't because I'm a pro, then it gets knocked down and costs a couple of seconds. I'm hoping I'm able to get to 5,000. That's kind of a jump. Oh, we got it. Oh, man. I was actually so nervous that I wasn't going to be at 5,000. So, because now we have Isildur's Swift Terror, and if we didn't have it, this level Balin's Tomb was going to be awful. And my whole run would have been, honestly, just kind of winging it at this point. And, okay, those enemies didn't cooperate. So, Balin's Tomb, the first phase is about 2 minutes of grinding for EXP. We're using our ability, Isildur's Swift Terror, to get ourselves into perfect mode. And then we spam our speed attack to try and rake through these goblins. But sometimes the auto-targeting doesn't like to cooperate, and so some people prefer to like use his bow. Also, those shield guys sometimes, like the bow I know is more consistent, so I might just go with that. But I don't have a timer on me to be able to figure out where we're at, because I want to make sure that I'm not in perfect mode when we enter the troll fight. But as you can see, I'm just kind of like deleting enemies in perfect mode. Now, some of you guys may be thinking, Zojalyx, your health is getting low. Well, we're plebs who play on easy mode, and health drops happen a lot. And so, like, I don't ever really get too worried about dying until Helm's Deep. Because Helm's Deep, they have catapults. But Helm's Deep won't be happening for about another 20-ish minutes. Okay, actually, I can kind of judge based on the timer that I'm seeing off to my side. Cool, I did that right. I'm not 100% sure actually how my grinding went. It seemed to go pretty well. So we're going to wait for the troll here. So with that, I spammed my fierce attack at a very specific rhythm. I didn't want to just sit and do the 2 combo. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to get myself into perfect mode. And so by getting myself into perfect mode this way, I'm able to... I was able to kill the troll in 3 shots, which were 2 charge shots and 1 regular shot, getting us 2 levels. And my menuing is really bad, but it's fine. To get us our one and only health upgrade, Ranger Fury, as well as the Rohan Bow. And the Rohan Bow is going to be arguably one of the most important abilities that we're going to get specifically for this, well, for this level. Because normally, if you don't have Rohan Bow, you don't one-shot enemies in perfect mode. So be ready for this level. We're going to find ourselves getting knocked down a lot. And that's part of the reason why we buy Rising Attack, because you get knocked down quite a bit in this level. And Rising Attack helps us to get up quickly. And so Emon Hen, this is arguably this is one of the heaviest reset points in the game. And the reason for that is because the AI in here, there's one certain attack that I can guarantee you will happen that will give the Urukai iframes, which, for those of you guys who don't know what iframes are, those are known as invulnerability frames. And even if I'm in perfect mode, for some reason, they don't, even in perfect mode, they don't take any damage. Oh, I walked right into that arrow. And so those iframes can get really frustrating, and that attack, because of those iframes, and like with those iframes, that attack also will always knock me down. And honestly, this level's been going really stinking well. So yeah, it was that move right there, that like overhead swing that you see them do. That's why, rather than try to opt into attacking them, I parry instead, because that helps. Okay, I'm getting kind of trolled a lot. Okay, cool. I got the level up as well as perfect mode. I'm not 100% happy with where... See, right there is the iframe that you just saw. And because the Urukai in this level like to spam that attack, and that can be really frustrating. Also, MQC, to answer your question, that's because Aragorn secretly holds back his ability of how good of an archer he is. And that's another thing too. I'm going to be quick scoping quite a bit with my bow and arrow. And it's not going to really make sense for Aragorn to be a quick scoping like pro. But it still just kind of happens. So now we're entering the Lurtz fight, and this fight has got a pretty hectic strat that I'll use in his second phase. I will explain it if I'm able to pull it off, depending on my perfect mode situation. So first phase, because I was in perfect mode, it was one arrow, and we were able to advance to this phase. Ah, shoot, I messed it up. But I was able to back it up pretty well. So, normally with that fight, what you would do is when he's on the statue, I would do a Isildur's Swift Terror, get into perfect mode, and then kind of have like an almost frame-perfect input Ranger Fury to get the kill on him before he even gets off the statue. But I didn't hold the Y button long enough, so... Ranger Fury didn't activate, so I had to wait for him to get off of the statue, and then I parried his attack, and then kicked him and used a Ranger Fury in perfect mode in order to back it up.
They came this way.
So that ends Amon Hen, and now we're into Fangorn Forest, another super tough level, because there are like three troll fights, but 4 trolls total that you have to kill in this level. And this level is pretty much just going from one required fight to the next. And I didn't do a Swift Terror there. That guy is like running away. And this level also introduces Berserker Urukai. And they're super annoying. All of their attacks knock you down, and every single time you hit them, unless you hit them with certain abilities or you time it just perfectly, you will get staggered. And so doing combos on them is really hard. But what we do instead is we use a well-timed Ranger Fury to just kill them instantly. So that was the first troll fight. You're going to see me use that ability a lot to kill the trolls in this level. It makes all of them, all the trolls die really fast because of Ranger Fury. And so we just use that in order to, we use Ranger Fury in order to kill enemies quickly. Okay, and we got good RNG there. Which, if you get bad RNG and you get hit, it can cause this like entire wombo combo and make you get knocked down. So here's the best example of the backwards hopping in the game, and we used to use it a lot in that river, but about like 8 or 9 months ago, it was discovered that you could run on the left side of the river without having to... Okay. We got knocked down because that troll decided to delay his attack. But it was discovered that you could run along the left side of the river, allowing you to not have to run, allowing you to not have to backwards hop as much. So this is the Horde fight. This fight can go can go 2 ways, really well or really badly, and that's because I want to priority kill the goblins. These other guys don't matter. They're just other guys that kind of followed us along. But we were able to kill the horde, and now we're off to the 2 trolls, and which is where 2 trolls show up at once, Monka S, and they like to cause a ruckus. But with the good old power of some Ranger Furies, which also for some reason the game made these trolls stronger. So rather than 2 Ranger Furies, these ones take 3. And this is another level. This level recently, because of how consistent all the active runners have gotten with statue strat and just fighting alerts, this level has actually become a heavier reset point for people. Also, shoutouts to 7 Swagmuffin 7 for coming up with a good chunk of these strats. He currently holds the world record for Aragorn, but I'm right on his heels. And so we were able to hit level 6. It's not necessarily required, but level 6 really helps because you get the ability Master Swordsman, and Master Swordsman increases the strength of your regular speed attacks, which allows us to kill some enemies a lot faster. So, Plains of Rohan, this level could literally cause the run to die by RNG. Well, not necessarily die, but it could cause me to fail the level by RNG. Because you're going to be introduced to townspeople, and they're the worst AI in this game. Because if you'll see the townspeople up there, and what I have to do is I have to make it through the level and kill enemies without that meter in the top right corner. If that meter empties, you fail the level. And they don't do a very good job at actually like running away. They just kind of stand there and tuck their heads and hope they don't die. Okay, so Gandalf was a little bit of a troll there. The best RNG possible would be if he were to shoot that door. Because we got a little bit of a waiting period, we're just going to go and pick up this extra EXP. And then watch this guy get killed, which doesn't affect our meter because it's a required kill. Where it's like, it happens. Run through here. We actually don't need to worry about those Urukai there, and we can kill this archer. Hopefully this berserker will cooperate, but he did. It's just the archer on the side up there in the building did not. But see, that guy's got a free way out, and instead he's just going to choose to duck his head until the very last minute. Another quick scope. We're going to bust this to let all these guys run through. And now we're getting into the second most frustrating fight in the level, and then preceded by the most frustrating fight. And the reason for that is because that leaping strike that you just saw those 2 Urukai do, that's another one of those iframe moves. And I want to try and get into perfect mode here, just so I can kill that berserker quickly. But I got kind of trolled. And then we're going to break this wagon and run up to the last fight of the level. And so this fight, I have to do, like, this fight you're required to either do it quickly or do it stupidly well. And the reason for that is this lovely couple is going to get thrown into this burning building, and another health bar will spawn. And if I don't get through this fight fast, and if I don't save them by the time their meter dies, it's not necessarily that it just drops on the meter. I failed the level for some reason, but that fight went really well. I had virtually perfect RNG for that, and you'll see by how much EXP I'm gaining. I wasn't able to quite get 2 levels, which is fine. Level 8 is the last level up that we're going to need, and with how much EXP we've got, I know we are automatically going to get it, either at the end of this level, West Fold, or Gap of Rohan, the next level. So, West Fold introduces Blasting Powder and those Sapper Uruk, and those are guys that come up and blow themselves up with gunpowder strapped to their chest. And it also introduces gunpowder. And gunpowder can be either the best or the worst thing. Because a nice thing about it is when you blow things up with gunpowder, you don't actually get EXP for the kill. And you're probably thinking, but Speedrunner, don't you want EXP? Well, actually in some odd way, shape, and form, when we hit about the position we are at for EXP, we actually don't want to start earning EXP. Okay, these guys are kind of trolling, but that's fine. I was worried about that when I got hit by the one little damage animation. This is so new. This has never happened where those guys have followed this long. Wow, that guy is he's on a chase! Shoutouts to that orc for being so committed. But, so, like, I don't know what caused me to fall there, but okay. So, if I kill enemies the normal way, you'll see on that bottom left corner that, like, fair or whatever type of kill it was, and I'm almost dead. So I'm going to play this a little bit more safe. Oh, geez. Okay, see, there's a health right there, but I gotta get to it quickly. Balls. Okay, staying alive. Just gonna do that to set off a chain of explosions. Okay. Cool. That went well. So, you'll see, like, the fair, but when enemies are blown up by either the gunpowder or... by gunpowder, I don't get EXP for those kills. I don't know why you don't, but the game doesn't do that. And that actually works out in our favor because of, at the end of the level, okay, at the end of each level, it tallies all of our kills. And the more kills we get, the longer it takes for that screen to tally. And so, by killing as few enemies as possible, we don't have to worry about those issues, I should say. We don't have to worry about the title screen taking so long. And you'll see that specifically in comparison to Helm's Deep Deeping Wall and Helm's Deep Breached Wall. And so we're just gonna... And so that was the end of the Westfold level. I hope that was pretty self-explanatory by that cutscene there. But you'll see this, couple of kills. See, like, those 9 kills took quite a while to cycle through. And I accidentally saved. Because I'm a pro speedrunner. So, exiting without saving. And so now we're in Gap of Rohan. This is the fastest level, because there's one quick fight that we do with one ability, and then we have the Sharku fight. And at the end of the Shark, and then once we're done with the Sharku fight, we're done with the level. And this is where you get wargs. This is the only level where wargs matter. And they're supposed to be really hard enemies. But with a very skilled ranger, or this is Wilderness Rage, it's an upgraded version. But with a very easily timed Wilderness Rage, we're able to one-shot either one or both of them, depending on RNG. And then they all die to full shots. And sometimes the auto-lock doesn't like to cooperate, which it actually functioned a lot better than it did in my PB attempts the other day. So now we got Sharku. He's going to tackle us 3 times. And as long as we're parrying, we won't take damage. So he's going to lift himself up, and then we're going to do 2 Wilderness Rages, and he's dead. And that gets us up to level 8, which is the last level that we need, and then we're going to get our last 3 abilities. No, I'm not finished. Oh, lordy, that menuing was rough. Okay. So we got Isildur's Judgment, which is the combo that we use during Prologue to get our max amount of EXP, as well as get into Perfect Mode quickly. And then we got Wrath of Numenor, which is our most upgraded form of Ranger Fury. And then we got our most upgraded bow, Gondor Bow. And now we get into the famed Battle of Helm's Deep, which is arguably one of the most well-known battles in pretty much, like, if you know fantasy cinema, like fantasy movies, more than likely you're gonna know this battle. So, lore-wise premise, we are currently at Helm's Deep, the Fortress of Rohan, and we are currently being attacked by about 10,000 enemies, and we have about 500 people in our army. And in order to defeat, and so we have this really large wall that they're trying to get up with these ladders. And so what we do is for about 8 minutes, we are going to run around and kick these ladders down. And what we want to do is we want to, because we hit level 8, we don't need to get any more levels up at all. And so because of that, we don't want to kill any more enemies. As well, we're going to need to in the last 2 levels. We need to kill, like, a lot. And I'm getting some wicked hiccups. Okay, that should be gone now. Ouch. And, but in this level, we want to avoid killing enemies. And so I hope you guys are going to enjoy. Aragorn avoids killing enemies and runs around and kicks down ladders for 8 minutes, because that's what's happening. So if there are any donations at all that happen during this time, feel free to go ahead and just chime in. I'll just be reacting to how enemies play out and kind of explaining situations as they change in this auto-scroller. So specifically, as you saw in like the first like minute and a half, after like the first like minute and a half-ish, the Uruk-hai leader ordered his orcs to shoot at us, and they shoot at us with explosive arrows, which actually come in handy because they will kill the other enemies. And if you look up in the top right corner, there's this meter that's kind of filled slightly with a little bit of blue. If that meter... I can't kick down that ladder for some reason. There we go. If that meter fills all the way up to the Uruk-hai that's over all the way and then starts blinking a bunch, we fail the level. But with the Uruk-hai ordering his army to shoot explosive arrows, he will actually kill some of the orcs, which means that will drop the meter and we don't have to deal with fighting them. And so, probably at this point, when you're thinking, because there are 3 levels left in the game, this one included, and you guys are probably thinking, what the heck, why is this a 1-hour estimate? We're only 32 minutes in. That's because this level's 8 minutes, the next level's about another 8 minutes, and then the last level is 5 minutes. Like 5.5-ish. So, the whole run comes down to these 3 levels, because there's about 20 minutes of time. There's, like, yeah, there's a 21, 22 minutes, depending on how well you play, in these last 2 levels, that determine how well the run is going to do. Also, I'm going to quick acknowledge a little stereotype I have going on with the Midwest Speedfest crew about... I've been known to set world records in marathons, and as far as I know, I have not set a world record in an online marathon. I've only been able to do it at on-site ones. And so, I'm sorry, Helix. I don't know if you're in chat or if you're sleeping right now or something, but I am not expecting myself to set a world record because it's an online marathon. I don't set world records in online marathons. Which, plus the world record for this game is so optimized that in order to get, in order for me to get world record is going to be super tough. Like, world record is 50:18, and I have a 51:12, I think is my PB. I'm in second place right now. And again, shoutouts to 7 Swagmuffin 7, who's the current world record holder. We both have been going back and forth with world record for a solid 6-7 months-ish. He had held the world record from 2017 in 2017 with a 52:56, and then way back when I had I had a 54:32 at the time. We were both kind of bored, and we were like, "Hey," and I was like, "Dude, what you up to?" He's like, "Nothing much." I'm like, "You want to race?" He's like, "Sure." And so we raced. I was expecting myself to get my butt kicked because I had a 54:32. He had a 52:56. But in the race, not only did I win the race, but I got a 52:30, which was the first time that the world record had been beaten in over a year. And thus began the rivalry between me and 7 Swagmuffin 7. We've always been trading the record back and forth. And honestly, like, looking back, we wouldn't have ever considered sub 50 to be possible if we hadn't been trading records back and forth. People were thinking, like, there was a point in time where we thought sub 52 was gonna be like a dream. Uh-oh, I gotta move. Okay! Oh, man! I don't know how I did not take damage there, but I was in oh, no, I know, I do know. Okay, that's cool. So, yeah, catapults, they can two-shot me. And so, for the last, like, minute and a half that's left of this auto-scroller, we have got to be real careful and watch where the catapults hit. Because if they hit me, they will do a ton of damage. And I'm actually going to run over here, even though I probably don't need it. I'm just going to pick up this one safety health. Ow. Because, yeah. Oh, I've been in iframes twice now, and I'm so lucky. So yeah, I got hit. Every time you get hit by an Urukai, only that, or like, get hit by an enemy, only that enemy can hit you again. You're in iframes, you have invulnerability to every other enemy that's in the level. Don't kick him off. Okay, we're cool. And so, by me getting knocked down there, I was invulnerable to the catapult strike. By me getting knocked down earlier, and then way back a little bit again, when I got hit, we were able to avoid getting attacked. We were able to avoid getting hit.
It is over for now.
By the catapults, which helped immensely. So that was the end of this really long auto-scroller. We've got about... Well, you're in luck, Joshua, because there is not much time left in the run. There's 2 more levels. This one's about 8 minutes, and the next one's about 5. So, Breached Wall. This level sucks. Because I don't know if I'm on PB pace right now or not. If I am, this level could kill it. Super fast. Because this level is... They blew a hole in our wall, and we have to defend this, like, breached point. And we do that by blowing up enemies. And so, by blowing... And I do a strat. This is a strat that I came up with, where I stand here at the very bulk of the breach and use Wrath of Numenor, which is our most upgraded form of Ranger Fury, to cause enemies to blow up and die. But this level comes down very, very heavily to RNG. If the AI don't spawn correctly and don't have the right pathing, I could lose 45 seconds to a minute. If they do, I could save 45 seconds to a minute. That's just kind of how this level works. And you won't see it necessarily at the beginning, but eventually they're going to be... So like, yeah, right now. And I actually am timing that a little bit differently so that way as many of those guys as possible will get hit by... Okay, we got 2 of them there. And then, so because there are 2 guys that got past us, we actually have to run back and we're going to shoot them. The reason why I'm using charge shots over quick shots is charge shots, if I hit, will kill. I'm going to do a swift terror on that guy. Get a little bit trolled here. I'm not 100% sure what's happening. We're just going to do that. These guys are coming at such, like, more different of a rate than they normally do. Gonna do an epic swift terror there to get ourselves into perfect mode, which then will allow us to do quick shots if I actually hit my shots, and virtually insta-kill all of these guys. Now, I gotta kind of watch my arrows, but arrow drops come like crazy. Nice, that went really well. And one guy got past. I don't know if I think he's dead now. Oh. Oh, that really sucks. There's only one guy who showed up in the pathing for that. Which means we're gonna do things a little bit differently. And okay, we're just gonna wait for the sapper to show up, blow him up, blow them all up that way. So once I get past this wave of enemies, they're all gonna start just kind of flooding in and not have necessarily any rhyme or reason to them. But that still means we just keep doing what we've been doing and hopefully kill them all fast. Which, this has been kind of odd. Okay, so we're getting close. We're actually... Okay, so we're shooting those guys, and then there's going to be a wave here that's going to spawn with a berserker. We want to time this right. Okay, the berserker's dead. That's the important part. Because then these archers are all going to come moseying on in. But we actually want to kill the Urukai. So that way we can spawn one more berserker and kill him with another Wrath of Numenor. And then we've got one troll that's going to show up. And we kind of got to wait a little bit, so I'm actually backing up a bit because it's a wood troll. If I were to just stand up willy-nilly, that troll would just sit and throw logs at me. And I don't want him to do that because it takes forever for him to come out. So I stand back a little ways for the troll to come out, then I use my Wrath of Numenor to kill him instantly. And now we move on to the last bit of the level, which is the catapult. And as you can see, out comes Mr. Leaderman, and he's bringing out this large catapult that we have to destroy. This part is arguably the hardest part of the entire run, because what we have to do is he's gonna fling a big explosive, and because what we have to do is we have to get into perfect mode with all of these enemies here, and that's really stinking hard to do, but we for some reason did it. And I just need a little bit of room to get a Wrath of Numenor out so I can destroy 2 of those and then get bodied by the catapult, because that's just luck. I almost was in perfect mode, but then I got hit! That's another annoying thing too. If I can get hit out of my combos, and so we're just gonna say heck it to trying to get into perfect mode again and just bust this catapult up. As you can see, getting into perfect mode saves a lot more time. So that's the end of this level. That actually went really well. And here you're going to see the difference. So the kill tally screen for Deeping Wall took maybe a second to cycle through. And this one takes a lot longer because we kill a lot more enemies. But then we're going to be jumping into the last level of the game, which is Hornburg Courtyard. And Hornburg Courtyard is super tough, and because that's another one where you kill enemies to progress the level. And it is super tight because it's super chaotic. We're going to be using Isildur's Judgment a lot in this level, as well as mixed with some Wrath of Numenors to try and kill multiple enemies as fast as possible. So there's this gate here that we have to defend. And we have to defend it from a never-ending onslaught of enemies. And this is, again, you kill enemies to progress the level. And so you're going to be seeing me do a mix of Isildur's Judgment and Wrath of Numenor to kill enemies. And I kind of have to listen later on for an audio cue to let me know for a certain progression point. Every other progression point in the level is cutscene based, but there's one specific progression point that is that's just an audio cue. So I'm going to be listening for that. Okay, so that's the first progression point. And as you saw in the last level, we hit Leaderman with Wrath of Numenor, but there he is again! I don't know if it was just a case of them reusing a sprite, or if it was like, plot twist, he survived, and he's trying to kill Legolas, and we're getting bodied by these orcs and Rohan guards. That sucks. So, hoping for good pattern. That's not a good pattern if he's right there, because there are 2 guys. Yeah, that sucks. That was a really bad pattern. And I stabbed him in the foot to kill him, so that's a huge pog. So, that catapult's going to obliterate a bunch of people. We're going to run through here, give Gimli his one shining moment where he obliterates enemies. Don't get used to that, because if I were to do a Gimli run, that would not happen. So, now I gotta try and run around again, everybody. And that guy's a troll. We're not gonna mess with him, though, because we don't like him. Not even worth our time to kill. So now is the point where I gotta be kind of listening for audio cues. So I'm not gonna be talking too much, just so I can hear what I need to hear. Okay, that was the progression point that we needed. I was kind of already in the middle of a combo, so I just finished that guy off. And we've got 9 archers here we have to kill. 5, 6, 7, 6, 7. Oh, we killed them all. So when Gimli yells Aragorn, that means they're all dead. And now we've got a little bit more killing left before the trolls spawn, and then when the trolls spawn, that will be to start getting ready on time. And we're getting kind of trolled by berserkers. Okay. So, time will be coming up here soon. We just gotta kill these 2 trolls. Time!
Nice. 50-47.
50-47, that's a PB, boys.
Well done, man.
So, I guess I might not be... It's not world record, but that is a PB. I was like 19 seconds, I think, off of world record. Actually, wait, I might be wrong on that. 29 seconds off world record. So, and that was a solid PB.
Sick. So you did get the bonus run.
Yep, I did, and I'm just going to reset the console so we can skip this cutscene because it's kind of long.
I'm going to update the... So that's a 15-minute estimate?
Yep. So we're going to be jumping into Tower of Orthanc, and that is a 20-floor kill dungeon. 20-floor, like, you kill certain enemy... A 20-wave dungeon, I guess I should say. Are we allowed to stream this copyright? I don't think it really matters too much. I'm going to get copyright striked now. LOL. So I'm popping into the file that's already completed because I want all my upgrades and everything to be able to use. So are we ready on time for that?
Yeah, I can count down or you can count down. I don't care, but
Okay.
Just let me know if you're ready.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and count down. 3, 2, 1, go. So, Tower of Orthanc. There are 20 floors, and these 20 floors have certain spawns. All the spawns are set. They're the same no matter what. And so we use all of the many different abilities that we've earned throughout the game to try and do this fast. So one of the abilities that I haven't showcased that I probably will showcase in this run, it's called Isildur's War Rush, and I messed it up there for some reason. And what that does, it's not currently optimized in the route because it kills enemies super fast, but it doesn't get you into perfect mode that fast. And in this certain run, we don't necessarily need to worry about perfect mode. We just need to kill enemies fast. And my computer's doing that thing again. That's cool. I'm kind of messing with it because it says right now my computer's at 10% battery. So... my charger cord just completely cut out on me? Because I can't seem to get a charge. Oh boy.
Guess you gotta beat it extra fast.
I apparently do. This is now beat the computer die %. Oh boy. So I'm going to be trying to fix it. My computer charging cord is like getting real jank and bad. So I'm going to be messing with it, trying to get my computer to charge in between floors here. Oh. Had it for a second. No. Come on. Stay. Okay. No, you were staying for a second there. Come on, man. Okay, it's staying for now. But we're still just gonna go extra fast. Okay. So here, these shield guys are my least favorite enemies because they just sometimes are not nice. Ow. So yeah, this level gets kind of chaotic. Like, it's not as chaotic as Hornburg Courtyard, but it can be just as chaotic if you let it be. So we're about halfway done with it now. Like I said, each of the spawns are set, and I just got... Okay, I won't complain that Archer just killed himself by shooting himself with an exploding arrow. Sometimes the AI is like that. And I just whiffed a shot. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I did a full charge shot. I was still in perfect mode. That's unfortunate. Die. Okay. So once I hit floor 15, I'm going to be switching from holding a charge shot to actually holding a Wrath of Numenor. And the reason for that is because of certain enemies that are going to be spawning. And that shield guy didn't want to get caught in my judgment, which is annoying. Okay. So now that we hit floor 15, I'm going to run here. There's going to be a troll. Wrath of Numenor, he's dead. And then we just have 4 archers to clean up, and that's the end of that floor. That's probably my favorite floor just because that strat is so satisfying with how fast you clean them out. And then now they're going to be berserkers that are going to spawn, so I'm going to be holding a Wrath of Numenor. And actually, I'm going to try and get a Bane. Yes! I even got the slow motion. So, Banes are insta-kills as long as you do a parry and then a speed attack fast enough. They aren't really used except for safety's sake because of the fact that, especially if you do slow motion, it takes up a lot of time. They always kill enemies, but they only kill one. And so because of that, that becomes kind of problematic. Oh shoot, I went to the wrong spot. I wanted to go to where that wood troll was. Okay, yep, and now this whole floor is hectic. Ow. Oh no! Sometimes you can get chain grabbed. I just kind of got to be careful with how I do this. I'm going to focus these archers here. I should... Okay, he's not cooperating. Okay, he's dead. We've only got 2 more floors left, and then that will be the end of this run. Oh shoot, I didn't get the swag 2 troll kill. And just gonna drop these archers, and then once again, be ready on time. Oh, I got shot by the archer, which... Oh my gosh, this... Oh, wow. Wombo combo. No. No. Wait, what? Okay, everybody's dead, so time will be coming up here when the screen goes black. And time. So that nice. I can already tell was not a PB, which is fine. This run is stupidly hard to PB in. So
you got an 834.
Yeah, 834 is nothing to sneeze at all. I'm really happy with that. I think my PB is like a 752.
Nice.
So, yeah, that concludes it for me here at Midspring Speedfling. Thank you guys so much for watching. Super glad to be able to get a PB and to go from a 5112 down to a 5047. Currently, right now on stream, I'm actually trying to grind down to the sub 50. That's sort of like the big goal that the community is trying to hit. And hitting the sub 51 just only motivates me even more for that. So if you guys want to see more of Two Towers, specifically see me try and grind this category out more, go ahead and check me out on Twitch. Same name. And then, yeah, that's, if you guys just want to see a lot more Lord of the Rings action, check me out. That's kind of like my thing, is Lord of the Rings games. As well as if you want to get involved in some of the Lord of the Rings speedrunning, there's a Discord. You can see that on pretty much all of the all of the leaderboard sites. And yeah. Thanks again to Midwest Speed Fest for having me out again for my 3rd Midwest Speed Fest event. That was awesome. I really enjoy it. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the marathon.
All right. Thanks for being here. That was a great run by Zojalyx. Up next, we got Hot Coffee doing Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, so stick around.